Hey, what's up guys? It's my first YouTube video, and for this project I'm going to show you guys how you could do your own DIY succulent wall. So let's get started. So for this project, we went down to our local Lowe's and we picked out a few succulents from the garden department. Now you're going to need 9 for this project, and they have different colors and styles to choose from, so go ahead and pick out the ones you like best. Also 1 bag of potting mix. You're also going to need 9 of the 6-inch clay pots that are going for about $1.47 each. You'll also need 9 of the 6-inch pot rings. These are going to hold your clay pots in place. You're going to need 2 pieces of 1x6x12 tongue and groove cedar. You don't necessarily need tongue and groove, but if you guys prefer, you can always use just regular fence pickets as well. You'll also need 2 1x2x8 cedar and a 1x4x12. Now we're going to take this 1x6 and we're going to cut 8 pieces at 32 inches. Now you could either use your miter saw, or you can just use a regular circular saw and just use a square, and it'll help you get straight cuts. Now lay your boards down and keep in mind that tongue and groove cedar has a rough and a smooth side, so whatever side that you want your plants on, you're going to want to face that part down. Now I used the 1x4 as a straight edge, and all I did was clamp it down, and this was going to allow me to get a nice even line at the end whenever I put all my tongue and groove pieces together. Now make sure that all your pieces are nice and tight and butted up against that 1x4, and you're going to go ahead and measure for the height, and you're going to cut 2 pieces of 1x4 the same size. Now I laid my 1x4 across, making sure it was even on both ends, and then I started pre-drilling 2 holes per each plank. Now for this project I used Titebond 3 wood glue, which is supposed to be good for outdoor projects, so go ahead and make sure you put enough of it. Now once I set it in place, I used 1.25" screws and I drilled them into each individual hole that I made. I then measured across and I cut the panel down to 31 inches just so that I can give it a straight edge at the end. On this side I did the same thing. I ended up gluing my piece and I clamped it down. I pre-drilled my holes and just put in all my screws. Now that those pieces were in, I went ahead and put another extra 1x4 in between both just to kind of reinforce the whole frame. I also did that for both top and bottom of the panel. For my panel I did use a rough side, so I really liked the way the wood turned out with all the nice characteristics in the front. Now that the frame was done, I cut some pieces of 1x2 cedar and I glued them in place, and that was going to be my trim for the whole frame. Now you could use screws and a drill just to put the trim in place, but I went with the finish nailer just because it gives it a cleaner look at the end. Also, I left the cedar as is. I didn't add a stain or a sealer because we couldn't decide on a color yet, so maybe down the line I will stain it, but it's up to you guys. You can add any color of your choice. Now here's how it looked right after I trimmed it up. Once I trimmed all around, I could finally lay out my pot rings. I spaced them out evenly, and I even cut 2 pieces of scraps the same size, and this was going to help me just square up my pot rings, as well as give me the same measurement all around. Now if you guys can see that little square that holds the pot ring, that has 2 pre-drill holes already, so my main goal was to center that in between each groove. Hopefully that makes sense. Now that they're all laid out and screwed in, they should look something like this. Now that that was done, we ended up painting our pots with a white color just to kind of give it a modern look. Now this paint color is probably going to require maybe 2 to 3 coats, so make sure you give them enough time to dry in between. Once those are dry, then you can place your succulents inside. All you have to do is follow the instructions on the potting mix, and it'll kind of basically tell you how it goes. It will also tell you how much light and water is required for each, as well as how much soil is needed. Now that everything was ready, all I had to do was hang my wall. So what I did is I grabbed a piece of scrap that I found laying around, and I ripped it down the middle at a 45-degree. This was gonna be like my cleat, which was gonna hold the wall and all the weight. Now I went ahead and also pre-drilled all the holes just so that whenever I put my screws in, they wouldn't crack the piece of board. Now I screwed one piece onto the panel, another piece here that you see is going to be mounted onto the wall. I just screwed it onto the wall and I went with the level of the siding. Now make sure that your sharp edge is pointing up on your 45-degree. Once your cleat is secure, then you can slide the succulent wall on there and finally place the pots in whatever order you prefer. And there you have it, your own succulent wall. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you benefit from this video. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments and I'll make sure and answer them the best that I can. And also, please like and subscribe. I'll try and post more videos as soon as I make more projects. So yeah, see you guys. Also, big shout out to Holly and Brad from Our Faux Farmhouse for this cool idea. Make sure you guys check them out on Instagram. She does it with no fear, all that confidence. Was it heaven sent? Does it come within? Does it come run out? I don't know. She'll just have them running out and in. Man, they want to sin, talking